Tim, good to meet you. How are you doing?
Very good, great to be here.
Fantastic. Welcome to the Oracle Red Bull Racing Museum. What it's like to be here?
You walk in and immediately I have to say, just mind blown by what we're looking at here. We're surrounded by some of the championship winners, the history of this amazing Formula One team, right?
What was your history? How did you become a fan? Where did it all start?
I remember watching F1 races with my dad, you know, and the Sunday the race would be on at home. I think probably late 90s was really when I started getting very into it, you know, the Villeneuve era, for example. But then just growing from there, you know, becoming interested in driving, in cars and getting out.
Amazing. What was your earliest memory that you still have as being a Formula One fan?
So for me, my earliest memory goes back to the Villeneuve championship year. To this day, I'm lucky to have a show car of the FW19 from that year myself. And that was the first time I remember watching, you know, the V10 engine cars that were screaming around, sitting down, watching the championship, watching the races.
You have Villeneuve's 97 winning machine?
I don't have a winning machine, I have a show car.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's close enough. It looks like the real deal, you know, liveried up from
jealous.
the time. Yeah, really special thing. And I actually keep it right next to my lounge. So these days, sit down, watch the F1, watch the new races, sitting next to a car from the days, and just sometimes go and sit in there and make noises, you know, pretend.
People are a fan of this driver, of this team, you know. Taking that Red Bull and Oracle Red Bull Racing, within 3 decades, they've gone from a sponsor to one of the biggest names. What do you think defines the Oracle Red Bull Racing approach to motorsport and to Formula One?
I mean, what we see right now, right, the nature of being at the top of the podium for most of the last couple of years demonstrates the power of what they've been able to create and the racing, you know, pedigree and prowess and Max Verstappen's results. It's absolutely at the cutting edge of technology, of performance, of aerodynamics, of everything that goes into, well, the cars that are behind us to ultimately achieve and be the very best in the world.
Fantastic. I'd love to ask this question. Vettel versus Max in the RB19. Who do you think's going to win? One lap.
Ooh, Vettel in prime. I'm sure we're talking. In the RB19, it has to be Max. The car is famously connected to him, to his driving. In a completely neutral car that I think neither has ever experienced before, that would be a real showdown.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's talk about the RB19 right behind us. One of the most successful Formula One cars of all time. How soon do you think the world knew that in the 2023 season that this was going to be a spectacular machine?
I think as soon as the car was almost introduced, there was a big sense almost of that had to be the expected position at the end of the season. If you look at it, if you look back a little bit at this, right, I don't think anybody expected the car to completely dominate in the way that it did through the 2023 championship season, but there was certainly a kind of this is the car.
So let's talk about the RB19 a little bit more. What do you think from a technical perspective are really the key ingredients, the key characteristics that made this car such an incredible machine to race?
I think it's building on the basis that was already existing, right? It's always fascinating, I think, from the outside to try and understand what can be done with these cars, because obviously the goal is to build the best within the rules and the regulations that are set. So it's always looking for these new minor improvements that just slightly increase the aerodynamic balance, help with weight distribution, help with whatever it is to ultimately have the fastest car possible. I think with the RB19, obviously, it's just taking the previous year's platform and building it further and just making it even better.
With regards to features, what part of it do you think looks the best? What catches your eye the most?
The amazing thing with the model, right, the Agostini RB19, is how you're looking at this exact replica match to the car that's also here in the museum. Every element of it, down to the proportions, the shapes, the surfaces, the finishing, the livery that it wears. It's that recreation of what you normally watch racing on television, we're lucky to see sitting right behind us, but that you can have at home.
Fantastic. And you build some of our models, you are familiar with the Agostini service. What is it about building a piece of motorsport history that is so enjoyable in the comfort of your own home? What is it about that?
The first that I built was back in 2020 when we were all stuck at home. I built the Ford GT, which again is a huge part of motorsport history, linking back to the 1960s and the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And going through the motions, I always enjoy seeing that transition, right, from the original parts to the finished product, to go through, putting it all together, understanding even what's happening underneath, building the engine, building the different components, building all of the different parts of the car, and growing, creating something that, you know, takes the work, gives you the satisfaction when you get to the end that you've been able to build it.
Fantastic. And you're looking forward to building the RB19 as well?
You bet. Just getting started.
One last question I'd like to ask. Anywhere in the world, any circuit, any conditions, you get to drive the RB19. Where are you going?
No pressure then. Driving something like the RB19, I can only begin to imagine what it would be like driving a Formula One car. Obviously you see all the training that the drivers have to do and everything like that. Assuming I would be capable, because I think that's a big assumption, Spa-Francorchamps. I think it's my favourite circuit. I've been lucky to drive many circuits around the entire world, and every time going back to Spa, going up the hill, it's an impressive place.
And are you doing it in the rain?
Probably not. I'll be a fair weather driver in this one. I'll drive in a nice dry, lightly cloudy, bit of sun, nice good conditions.
Tim, thank you for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.